everybody, welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Married at First Sight. This is season 11, episode 10, and it was titled Deal Breakers. Alright, so I think the days for this episode were between 21 and 24. So that's the time frame we're going on. It has to be around February, March time, because it looks like they just finished with Mardi Gras from like their basket of Mardi Gras stuff, the Mardi Gras cups. And they were discussing Corona on this episode. Well, Amani and Woody were. They were only two, actually. And so it has to be around that time frame. So this episode was really good. I really enjoyed the episode. I really enjoyed the conversations that they were having with each other. It was really good. So I really enjoyed this episode. And I especially, we'll get to who I especially liked. But they had a couple scene where everybody kind of met, but it was 3 couples met and then 2 couples met and then Woody and Miles met because remember they're best friends. So I think I will just start with before they kind of all met together and then I'll complete each couple's scenes together. All right, I hope that works out because I just kind of made that up right up the top of my head. But anyway, it kind of opens up with everybody waking up. Everybody's starting their day. It's Sunday, according to Olivia. So everybody's just, together in their environment together. No work, just errands, fun stuff like that is going on today. Let's start with Amani and Woody. So they're brushing their teeth. They're clowning. You know how they do. And it's funny because Amani was like, I always imagine marriage being like us being together, having a partner, being in close proximity with the person and stuff. But she was like, this is not quite what I expected because Woody just wants to be near her and stuff. So it's really cute. She trying to undo her hair and she like, you going to sit here through the whole, untwisting hair process. And he was like, yeah, And I guess her pants rolled up or her shirt rolled up or something. He was like, oh, you showing a little flesh. You tempted me. And she was like, go in the kitchen and cook. I can't even do this without showing a little ankle and you getting tempted. Go in the kitchen and cook. So it was cute. We see him cooking breakfast. She's cleaning up. She asking to wash his clothes and stuff. And they're just talking about how the week has been and how they've grown more, because I guess this is the third week, so they've grown more together in this third week. She realized that he's a morning person because he'll hop up at like 5, 6 in the morning and she's still sleeping because she's a night owl. She just went to sleep. So I was like, if that's not me in bed, because I stay up all night. I'm up until like 2, 3 in the morning. She my bad, y'all. I was crafting over there. I should say working, not crafting. She'll wake up at like 5 in the morning ready to play, and I'm like, I just went to sleep. Okay, so I can understand where they were coming from. And he was just basically like, we're gonna have to compromise. We're gonna have to see each other in the middle. So we'll see each other during the times that we are up. We'll have to be more productive together and stuff like that. So he took it really well. And then the take from this scene was they were talking about punishments and not punishments, whoopings, spankings and stuff. And he said he was spanked every day. And she was like, I didn't get spankings or anything like that. So I don't know what that's about, because they were talking about Corona. And so he was saying like it's a respiratory, you know how when it was first coming out, we ain't really know what was going on because of what we was being told and stuff. So she was like, yeah, if I take my mama cigarettes from her, I'm gonna get a whooping. And I was like, girl, I'm there with you, because my child, let me take my mama cigarettes. Y'all be like, where Lord? Dead. So I understood that. But she was saying like she didn't get spanked. She was like, well, that would be my first whooping or whatever. So that's how they got on the topic. And he was like, well, he got spanked every day and he turned out fine and he feels like you should incorporate that. And she's like, no, that's the form of corporal punishment. She was like, yes, students don't be acting up, but do you spank them? And he was like, no, I don't spank them. And she was like, yeah. So it's the same premise. Like they are well behaved in the classroom and stuff like that. And you're not spanking them. So we're not doing it in our household. We're not doing it with our children and stuff. And he kind of thought about it and he was like, yeah, you make a good point or whatever. So she was like, look, if he whoops our children, that's a grounds for divorce. And then she was just like, well, point is, we not whooping our kids. And he was like, ever? She was like, ever. And if you whoop our kids, I'm whooping you. So, like, yeah, that's a wrap on that one. So I was glad they kind of had that conversation, because it was a really good one. And then they had their meetup with, who was at the meetup? Christina, Henry, Olivia, Brett, and then there was just Woody and Amani, and they were eating crawfish and stuff like that. So we'll put that on pause and get back to that one. We see Henry and Christina, they're just kind of getting ready, you know. I think they were folding towels or something. Yeah, they were folding towels, and they were just basically saying they're going to get used to each other's, you know, quirks and habits, basically. So that was it for them right there, because then they did the meetup. So I'm gonna pause them right there. And then Amelia and Bennett, what was it? She was baking bread. They were basically, before their meetups, they were, Amelia and Bennett was going over chores, basically. And we already know Amelia don't want to do no chores, okay? So, and he was like, he's tidy and she's a bit messy. And we saw her washing a pot or something. Child, that pot looked like it was still dirty. I was like, Bennett, I'm gonna need you to go back over that pot. So, they do like their little draft where he writing out all the chores, and then he put in like some little funny chores in there too, like get the mail, take rude phone calls. What was some other ones? Interlope with animals. It was like real weird like stuff, but then there was some serious stuff like take out the trash, mop, sweep, bathroom, and stuff like that. So she was picking all the easy stuff, he was picking the hard stuff. And then she said in her confessional, which I was kind of surprised she didn't bring up later, and we're gonna get to that. She said that if she's doing her residency, oh, I did it, y'all. Because y'all know I be struggling with that word. If she do that, when she does that, she's gonna be working all the time. And he said that he would stay at home. So she was saying like, well, when I do that, he's gonna be home doing all the chores. So I don't see me doing this for life or whatever like that. And that's a true statement, because if he's gonna be the stay at home husband, what else is he doing? Because he does have little odd jobs, but if he's mostly staying at home, and especially when they start having kids and stuff, he's going to be the person who's cleaning up. So I saw where she was going with that. And was this after their friend thing? And yeah, I think this was after their meetup. So we're going to get back to them on that one. And then Olivia and Brett, she's not a morning person either. She says she's a chronic snoozer, and he's like, all right, I hit the alarm, let's get up, let's go. And I'm with Olivia, like, you can hit that thing, how many times we got to set for? 5? Is it 5 or 10 minutes snoozing? Can we just keep hitting it? I'm a chronic snoozer too. So she was just saying like things aren't going as easy or smoothly as she expected it to go. He was trying to help her fold up the sheets and stuff, and child, he was being so anal. With the tag should go at the bottom, the thread should go on the. If you don't throw that top sheet on that bed and keep it pushing, I don't even have no top sheet on my bed. I was with her, like, I can make up the bed by myself. Go on. And she kills me, because she keeps saying like she got married to go do fun activities with a partner and stuff. And I'm like, girl, you could do that with your best friend or a boyfriend or something like that. You ain't had to get married to do that. I'm like, ugh. But he took her rock climbing, and she had a good time. He was real encouraging to her. Like, I don't know if it was her first time going, but he was like, oh, you doing good. Oh yeah, he was cheering her on. It was a good scene. And then she said by them spending more time together, she's understanding why the experts put them together. I wish he would tell us, because I still can't see it. What about y'all? Because like when he came down off the rock climbing, you know the harness is real tight. He was like, oh well, that'll cause us not to have no kids or whatever. And she was like, oh, that would be a good thing. I was just like, but we know he want to have kids. So like, what? Y'all tell me, because I don't see it. I don't see it. So then Karen and Miles, child, Karen left. She had left. So we see Miles, he making up the bed. It's real sad. Like, this real job sad. And he making up the bed. He said his anxiety is real high and stuff because she left. that night after the whole writing sex on the whiteboard and stuff, and she went back to her apartment because she said she needed some time and space alone. He's upset because he made her uncomfortable. She basically said what I said in the comments and said like on a Facebook post or Twitter post, one of them posts, child. They don't have that type of relationship where he can joke with her like that, where she won't take it as serious. I took it as a joke or whatever, because like you can do that with your partner. You know your partner that long and you know how they take things or whatever like that. He was joking and he told us that he was joking and stuff like that. She didn't take it as a joke because she has issues with intimacy and we don't know what was going on in her past or anything like that. We don't know, you know, what happened to her or why she has a tough time with intimacy. But I know it may be because of the ex who she was with for 5 years and then he had a baby on her. Like, that's why I keep saying she needs therapy so she can get over that, because if she keeps holding on to that, she just going to push miles away or whatever. And Woody said so at the end, not the end, well, when Woody and Miles met up, but they can't joke with each other like that. So she really felt uncomfortable. She said she felt unsafe. What else did she say? She said she said like they barely had their first kiss. Like they just had their first kiss, and then him putting sex on the board was like, yo, well, where is this coming from? Like, we don't even have that kind of relationship. Like, is that all you want? And I'm like, girl, you reaching, because we already see that's not what he wants. He wants to cater to you. He wants to bring you happiness. He wants to do all of these things for you. But he also, like, he human. He got needs. You got needs. So, like, you know, people have sex. Grown people, young people too, but you know, we do those things. So him thinking that and wanting to talk about it was not abnormal, but just to her, because of the situation that they're in and she doesn't know him like that and she's already has issues with it, that's why she kind of blew it out of proportion. So yeah, and I already knew that's what it was because they don't have that relationship. So him putting it on the board, on the calendar in a joking way, but her not taking it as a joke was kind of like overstepping her boundaries and stuff like that. So I saw where she was coming from, but I feel like she could have did it in a different way, and she could have at least articulated that night versus staying at her home. And it sounded like she was at her place for a couple days, not just like overnight. So yeah, and she was saying like she don't know if they can get over it, if she can trust him and all that other stuff. So I was just like, this is going to be rough. But then she did come back. She said that she stayed at the house a couple days. I swear I turned that off. I'm sorry. She stayed at her house a couple days to calm down, get her head right, and she wanted to, you know, talk to him. So she's calm and everything like that. She tells him that she's upset. She says the way that he did it caught her off guard, which pissed her off, and she wasn't able to sleep. And she said she didn't know where it came from. And she says she understands they're married, and she also brought up the whole like they just kissed a couple days ago, and at that moment she felt unsafe. I don't like the word like you can say unsafe, and then it just seems like it has a weird meaning, like he was about to attack her or something like that. But I guess in this case, I don't know if I would have used the word unsafe, just maybe uncomfortable, because you know, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But she was saying like in her confessional, just because we're married doesn't grant him access to her body, which is true. I mean, it's a true statement. So she was just saying it was a boundary for her. And she said, but she's going to be more attentive. And no, she was saying like, I want us to be more attentive and considerate of each other's feelings and spaces and boundaries and all the other stuff. All good points. He was listening, he was understanding, and I think the expert, which one was it? I can't remember which one said it. I know it wasn't Dr. Pepper. Was it Pastor? No, it wasn't Pastor Kyle. What's the lady's name? I can't think of that lady's name, the new one. I can't think of her name, but she said sometimes when couples play with each other, sometimes their playfulness can be hurtful to the other person and vice versa. And this is true, okay, because you may be playing or in a joking mood, but that person being serious, and so it's conflicting or whatever. So he apologizes for making her uncomfortable, and he says he wants to help gain that trust back, and he understands that he broke that trust and he wants to gain it back and stuff like that. He's feeling real crappy and stuff. And you know, like Miles is, yeah, so we know he feeling like shit right now because he's a caring person. He wants to make people happy. He wants to give. He wants to all this other stuff. So him breaking that cycle, I guess to say, I don't know what else. I can't think of the other word I want to use, but him not doing that really is making him feel bad inside. And you know, so I know he's going to like, okay, she don't like that, I'm not going to do that type thing. So I already know that. And he looked oh my goodness, he was looking all sad, y'all. I said, oh no, Miles. I just wanted to give him a hug because he was just like, I said, oh my God. But she said she appreciates him and she wants to work through it. And she talked about she said that she wanted to be more affectionate with him, be more intimate with him, because she knows that that's what he wants, that's what he likes and stuff like that. And she said in the spirit of forgiving, she's going to be more attentive to his needs. Child, he was geeking. He had that big old schoolhouse child. He was just like, yeah, gum shump, like he was geeking. So I was happy of the conversation they had and the way she expressed herself. I wish Miles would have expressed himself a little bit more in that situation, but I guess it was fine what he did. He apologized. He took accountability, and he's going to do, you know, not do those things, but be more considerate of her feelings and stuff like that. And then she's going to be more attentive to his needs and give him what he wants and stuff like that. So I, hands down, like that conversation. What did y'all feel about it? I already know look, I know y'all don't see it for Karen. I don't really see it for Karen either. But I think in this instance, I really understood where she was coming from. So I could see, but I just feel like she did go kind of overboard because he was playing, but I feel like she should have just talked to him, maybe calmed down, but not took 2-3 days. Like, come on now, girl. But, cause we all know Miles ain't trying to child, but whatever. I think that was everybody before the meetup. So everybody they met up. And who met it? So it was Woody, Amani, Henry, Christina, Olivia, and Brett. They met up for crawfish and stuff like that. And child, that crawfish had looked good. I mean, I don't really like crawfish, but the way they just gave so much, it looked like it was a good place to go to if you ever in New Orleans or whatever. And so I think I'm gonna have to hit that place up because it looked good. I think he might got other stuff on the menu too, but it looked good. I just wanted to say that. Anyway, so they're eating crawfish. They was just kind of talking like small talk about how they was snoring and stuff. And then Brett and Olivia were saying they are becoming closer, which is good. Henry and Christina, they was kind of quiet, but they was eating and just listening to people. But you could tell that their chemistry was a little bit better than what it has been prior because they were smiling. They were like, yeah, I can. They weren't really like feeling like the outcast. So you can tell a big difference in those two in relation to the rest of the couple. So I was just like, oh, okay, this is better. All of them agreed that they were all having like a better week and stuff like that. Henry said that he's been struggling a little bit, but he's feeling a little bit better. And Christina and them was like, they kind of date each other, which is good. I'm sorry, y'all. Shoot. I didn't put my finger all in the dang on thing. I'm trying to silence the notifications, but I can't even get to the dang thing. But anyway, let me see. 1 second, y'all. All right, there we go. Because that's annoying. The ding, ding, that's annoying for me. But anyway, they were saying like they are dating each other basically. So that's good. Whatever works for them. Whatever works for them to become closer and all the other good stuff, I'm with it. So Henry was saying they were talking about how they played golf and stuff. And Christina was saying like he was a good teacher. He was patient. She enjoyed him. She's liking him more. I said, okay. And then Henry was like, they did salsa dancing. He found her sexy. Everybody was like, what? Okay, Henry. So I was just like, okay. And Woody was like, yes, I'm excited. You done called your wife sexy? Like, okay. He was like, now, like in his interview, he was like, now they just get a little bit closer, like a little hold hands, you know. Now take the extra steps, basically. And child, why Christina joked on my son? I got an announcement. I'm pregnant. They was like, what? Okay, Henry, you moving fast. She was like, no, I'm just playing. The way Henry was trying to stifle that laugh by drinking that beer, I was cracking up. What else? And then Amani took Henry off to the side and they were talking. I loved her bracelets. I was like, I'm gonna have to do a stack like that and put it on my website because that stack of bracelets was nice. I was just noticing the little things in the episode, y'all. But anyway, they were kind of off to the side and they were talking. And she was like, I see like you are liking her more. Y'all are getting together or getting along together more and stuff like that. He was like, yeah, you know, but it's a couple things that we can work on, and it's her impatience. And he was just going in, and she was just like, oh, because he was like, her impatience, she's mean to the staff or the producers and stuff. And he was like, I'm just going to be real, she's rude to the staff, and if this keeps going, it's going to be a deal breaker. Like, I'm done. Like, he said it's a turn off for him. Like, all that stuff he was telling us in an interview about Christina, he was telling Amani, and she was just like, ooh. She didn't know what to say. Like, oh, okay, all right. And so then we see Amani with the ladies. So she's with Christina and I'm about to call her Oliver, Olivia. And Christina was like, yeah, you spoke to my husband, you put him off to the side and stuff like that. And she was like, yeah. She was like, well, what did he say? She was like, yeah, he was she was just like, yeah, he was saying like your impatience is a deal breaker and stuff, and it's making him a little standoffish and all this other stuff. She was like, what? Like, he didn't communicate that with me, and he's telling y'all this, telling you this, but he can't tell me, and he's telling me one thing because he was saying I was patient down there, and then up here he's telling you this thing. So she was getting all frazzled and stuff, and she was like, well, which one is the truth, basically? And she was like, well, he did say like this week y'all been getting better and stuff. She was like, well, yeah, but he's saying like I'm sexy in front of the group, but he can't say it to me. Like, what's up with that or whatever? So she was just getting confused and frustrated. And Olivia was like, well, maybe he's intimidated by you and stuff. And she was like, well, we're married. He need to talk to me and tell me what's going on. So I agree with her on that one. And then we got Amelia and Bennett and Miles and Karen. They really wasn't doing a lot of talking. We did see a scene where they did sit on a bench and they were asking Karen and Miles if they felt married, and they said they felt married-ish type thing. But basically in the park, they were just playing like this game of bocce ball. I ain't never heard it before, but I guess you throw like the smaller blue ball and you throw that ball out, and then the big balls, this sounds weird, but anyway, the big balls you throw to whoever gets closest to the little ball wins or whatever. So they were playing that, and the winner got a kiss. So Miles was getting a whole bunch of kisses, child, because he was winning. He got a kiss on his forehead, on his cheek, I think on his wrist. He was getting a whole bunch of kisses. And then, like, the grand finale, because he won the last round and stuff, he got a kiss on the lips. So it was kind of dry, but Miles was excited. I said, whew, this is the most kisses he's ever had, child. So, goodness. And what else happened? And then Woody and Miles, I'll just talk about their meetup too. So Woody and Miles, they were getting a haircut together, and Woody was talking about how their relationships are kind of ebbing and flowing, and he was telling Miles how he told Amani that he was in love with her, and Woody told Amani, I think I said that right, and Miles was like, what? You said what? Like, if I would have bet money, I'd have knew. And he was like, yeah, I'd have knew your ass would have said I loved you first, not me. So Miles is like, yeah, I'm in love with her, I love her and stuff like that. So he's just saying like how their relationship is just going smoothly and stuff. And Miles is like, yeah, if I told Karen that I loved her, she would have a heart attack. Like, she would be gone. He was like, what? Like, gone? She was like, yeah, because she not good with intimacy. She not like open like that. And he was like, so if I wanted her to leave, I would just tell her like, look, I like you or something like that, because she would be gone. And I was like, that's a damn shame. And Woody was like, Because then it was Woody time to get a haircut. And I don't know what was going on. I wish they cut them little plaits off his head. But he like it. And Amani love it. So whatever. He was saying like he hopes that Miles is not sacrificing himself for Karen, because Miles was like, she likes to move slow, and he was like, well, I hope he not moving so slow where he told him that he was like, I hope y'all not moving so slow where y'all just stale out, basically, because you didn't stop doing stuff, she not really doing stuff, and you moving at her pace, and then if you slow down and not giving her what she want, she gonna take that as a sign that, oh, well, he not all in, and y'all know how Karen gonna go. So Woody is like, I hope that that's not gonna happen to y'all or whatever. So he's like, it's because Miles told him how she, left and stuff like that, and he was like, what? And she ain't calling her. He was like, well, what would you have done if Amani did that? He was like, I'd have been blowing her phone up. I know, we gonna talk today. Like, we gonna talk. And I was like, exactly. Like, I would have gave like the space or whatever, but 2 days, no, that's too much. That is too long. And I'm with Miles. I'm not Miles. I'm with Woody. Like, I hope that Miles is not compromising himself, because that would just be tragic, because he's not going to get what he wants out of Karen if he moves at her pace, because then she's going to go left with it and all that other stuff. So I don't, yeah, yeah. So, that was their meetups and everything like that. So now after the meetup, we're going to rewind back to Amani and Woody. I hope I ain't confusing nobody and throwing nobody off. I told y'all I just made that the way I'm going to do that up right now. But anyway, after the meetup, Amani and Woody, they just had dinner and stuff, and he was asking, and child, the editing was so horrible. And they first sit down, they get in their main course, and then when she was picking lint out his beard, they had the appetizers, and then they was back to the main course. I was like, y'all need to work on that shit. But anyway, were basically talking about, he asked her a very good question, like, do you feel like you have to, like, I made you uncomfortable, or I made you feel like you have to speed up your feelings for me because I told you that I was in love with you or whatever. And she said kinda, like, yes and no. Like, yes, like, oh my God, he loves me, this is soon, and she hopes that he doesn't fall out of love with her, because she's now like, I gotta keep up with it, so he doesn't fall out of love with her. Because I think that happened. No, was the dude married? I think the dude was married or something, but she's scared that that's gonna happen. And then she was saying no, because she just because he's moving at a faster pace than her, she doesn't have to. But then again, where I said the yes, she feels like she has to keep up with it, and she has that pressure on her now or whatever. So that was pretty much it for Amani and Woody. And then Henry and Christina, when they came back from their meetups, child, she was like, well, how did you feel about the meetup and stuff? He was like, I thought it was good and whatnot. And what did she say? Shoot, she was like, he was like, oh, I felt it was good. She was like, yeah, it was okay. She wanted to get right into the whole conversation he had with Amani, child. And she like, well, you're saying that you told Amani that I was impatient and all this other stuff. He was like, yeah, I've said that. And she was like, no, you never said it was like a deal breaker. And he was like, well, it's been better and stuff. She was like, yeah, but like, she was just throwing out a whole bunch of stuff, and he was just like, he couldn't even get out what he was saying. She kept cutting him off and stuff, and I'm like, girl, you need to stop and listen to what he's saying. She was making some good points, and he was making some good points, but they really needed to listen to each other in that instance. He was saying like, because she was saying like, do you feel like you can overcome this issue? Is it going to be a problem for you? And what else happened? Because that's, like I said, she kept cutting him off, and she was like, well, I feel like you're just doing this to look good on camera and then make me look like the asshole, and if that's the case, just let me know, because I could be the biggest asshole there is, and then you could look like you're the golden child. He was like, no, that's not what I want. Like, and so just, she was like, well, are you into me? Do you want to be in this relationship? And he was like, well, at this present time, if you want me to give an answer right now, I would say no. And she was like, well, why are you here? Like, what? I was like, girl, slow down. Let the man answer the question fully. So, he was like, look, because I feel like it's you're asking me right now if I would stick around. And he's like, because it's a process. That's why I'm here. Like, I'm starting to like you, and it's a process. So I'm trying to work through this process. It's going to be hard, and I don't know if I can get over those things, but I'm going to try. Henry is dedicated. Henry said he is dedicated. He's going to try to work on things. He's going to try to get over her impatience. She needs to work on her impatience. She needs to keep doing whatever she's doing this week that's better. She needs to continue to do that, and then she don't have to worry about turning him off or him leaving or anything like that. And then she told him, like, communication is a deal breaker for me. Like, if you don't communicate with me and I'm not sure or aware of what's going on, then like, how are we supposed to grow and stuff like that? And that was a good point that she was making. Like, he should have told her how he was feeling, and also told her, like, you're doing better this week, like, you're doing, like, all this stuff. Like, he should have said that to her versus saying it to Amani. So I felt where she was coming from when she got upset. Like, don't tell somebody else about me being inconsistent or me being bad and stuff like that. How about you tell me that, and I can work on it? And then if I'm still not doing, you know, the right way, or let's communicate, let's talk about how I can change this, how this, like, do that. So I understood where she was coming from. He did apologize to her. And then, like, later on, he did, like, a bowl of questions so they can kind of communicate and get to know each other a little bit better. And I really like that. He was saying, like, because she's worried that she will lose herself, I guess. And she's worried that she has to keep pulling him out of situations because he clams up during certain situations. So she's worried that she's going to have to continue to do that and stuff like that. And he said he can promise her to treat her with respect, be loyal, committed, and then put in forth the effort in their relationship and stuff. And one of the questions was, why do you want to make this marriage work? And she was saying, like, I feel like you're a good person and you should be married to a good person. So that's why, you know, I'm, you know, here or whatever. And he also said again, like, the few days that we've been together have been better. And he was saying something like he was a turtle in his shell or something like that, or turtle on the beach in his shell. And she was like, well, turtles are cool or whatever. And he was like, yeah, you're right. I was a cool turtle. I was cracking up. That was cute. And he said that they're growing chemistry, and I think she said once our chemistry gets to where it needs to be at, we'll be unstoppable. And he said he saw potential. So that was good. It was a good wrap up for them too. Amelia and Bennett, they were just riding their bikes, loving. Oh, I forgot. He cooked dinner for her because he said that did I say that? I don't think I did. He was sick. So remember, he was sick and she took care of him or whatever. So he ended up cooking dinner for her. And child, he had 2 friends come over. I said, what is they wearing? So they came over and was on like the guitar and stuff and sung her like this song. It was weird, but she liked it. She enjoyed it and stuff. And then he did like a social distance hug. I said, did Bennett had a little case of the Rona or something? Because it was around that time, child. I was just like, Oh, and it was funny when Amani was like, they selling out the hand sanitizer on back order, but they not buying soap. I was cracking up. I was cracking up at that part. Because we was all thinking it, but y'all know you can wash your hands. Whatever. What else happened? Oh, and then Amelia and Bennett was on the back porch eating their dinner and stuff that he cooked, and he was asking her, like, how would you communicate if I'm not giving you what you need or what you want or whatever like that? And she was basically like, I'll just tell you. And I feel like we should both be adult enough to do that or whatever. They were fine. And then later on, they were riding bikes and stuff, enjoying life and whatnot. And he was asking, like, is there anything that I do that annoys you? She couldn't find nothing. He said that when she washes dishes, she just washes the inside and not the outside of the cup. Here she go. Well, I guess I'm going to have to wash the outside of the cup. Yeah, wash the whole, what? It's like, I'm not eating at their house. That's nasty. But she couldn't find any annoying traits. And he said that worries him because a lot of his relationships failed because he put his person on a pedestal. And then when they started doing stuff, then it kind of crumbled or whatever. So he's like, well, are you, like, is she in this bubble? Like, are you that just tolerant, or like what's going on? And I found it funny that she didn't bring up the fact that he wants her to share chores, because that seemed to be an issue for her. So I was surprised that she didn't bring that up. So I don't know. What did y'all think? But I feel like, I understand what he's saying. Like, something has to bother you about me. So you could tell on his face that he was kind of worried. And then Olivia and Brett, she took him to go do trivia with her friends and stuff. Brett acting like a whole asshole. He don't want to answer the questions. Bar trivia is dumb. Like, it's dumb fun though, but they gonna have questions. Like, now some questions you be like, oh damn, I got to look this up on the phone. But it's like, if you ever been like on a cruise or something like that, and they do like the 20 questions trivia, some of them questions you just be like, well, this is just stupid. But you play the game, like play along or whatever. Like, he just don't want to play along. He finds it stupid. This not trivia. This not, like, come on, Brett. He was acting like a whole douche. And she had to go. Olivia got up because she was frustrated with him, and went outside to talk to her friend. And she was saying like, she thought that he would enjoy it because it's something that they could do together. And sorry about that. I had a phone call. I was declining it. So she thought it was something they could do together, and because he's not getting along with her friends and stuff, and she doesn't know how to take that. And the friend that she went out with, I think that's the one she always talks to, she was basically saying like, you shouldn't have to compromise with your friends and still having a good time with your friends and stuff like that. You shouldn't have to give that up. And I was just like, why is he acting like that? Like, everything that she wants to do, he like frowns his nose up. Like the whole the alligator tour thing, he was all douchey about that. And then now the trivia, like, lighten up. Like, what is your problem, Brett? He was annoying me. And then last but not least, Karen and Miles. And this one, I was just like, oh my goodness, I love this. Okay, I need to find a place like that here, because that thing was so romantic and everything. Child, she took him to like this what was it? Like a massage, but it looked like yoga, but it was like this intimate massage thing where one partner like massages the other person from the feet and head up or whatever. And so you had to get real close, real intimate, like just touch. And it was really good. Okay, like it was good. She massaged him. I don't know if he massaged her because they didn't show that, but she massaged him and he was loving it. I said he probably bust one, because she had to massage his feet and the knees, the butt, like she had to go all up his body, his ears. Like, it looked like it was real peaceful. It was real relaxing. He said he was enjoying it. He was having a good time and stuff. And it was good. She said she is attracted to him and she wants the physical intimacy with him. And because she said, I think she said she needs that. I don't know. But she said that she wants to learn how to let go. And I was like, therapy, girl, therapy. And then after the massage, they kind of joked and stuff, because he was like, I was scared when you had to go down to my feet. Because he was like, they was kind of ashy and stuff. She was like, well, good thing they had a moist towel and stuff. It was cute. So they was joking about it afterwards. I really enjoyed their scenes this episode. And I was just so happy that she finally touched on this man, gave him what he wanted, and he felt good about it. So I was like, next week, I don't know what is about to happen, because it looked like they're going to be talking about sex and stuff, and you know that child is uncomfortable with that. So I'm like, oh Lord, here we go again. And it sounded like one of the therapists, I can't think of her name. Juliana? No. That's not it. I'm gonna remember it next time. But she sounded like she was saying take sex off the table or something. I said, oh, and then something else happened. I can't even think of what it was, because all I could say was ooh, and I don't remember what the heck it was. It was one of the couples that got into it or something, child. And I was just like, oh snap. But anyway, y'all, this week's episode was really good. Y'all let me know what y'all felt about it down there in them comments down below. If y'all like this recap, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.